Hi, this is Fatty. Today, I want your full attention. I have 3 real stories to share. 3 stories about bullying, pain, and silence. 3 stories that do not end well. Before we start, a warning. This video talks about bullying, violence, and self-harm. These are hard topics, not light ones. If this feels heavy, please take care of yourself. Pause the video if you need a break. Now, think back to your childhood or teenage years. Not the fun times, the painful ones. Think of words that cut deep and stayed with you. Think of that joke that did not feel like a joke. Think of the day you felt small and alone. Maybe you were the quiet kid in the corner. Maybe people laughed when you walked by. Maybe no one chose to sit with you in class. Maybe you saw someone else suffer and stayed silent. Almost everyone has seen bullying in some form. Some laugh it off and call it teasing. Some say, kids are just being kids. But ask yourself one honest question today. What did that bullying do to you inside? Stay with me until the end. This may change how you see bullying forever. Our first story takes place in Serbia, in Belgrade. In 2013, Serbia had a mass shooting that shocked the country. After that, there were no similar cases for years. People felt safe, at least in schools. Then came the morning of May 3rd, 2023. It looked like a normal school day at first. Students walked in, talked, joked, and took their seats. No one knew what was about to happen. A 13-year-old boy named Costa walked to school. He carried his father's gun inside his backpack. He also brought homemade fire bombs he had prepared. He had a clear plan in his mind. He walked to the school door with calm steps. The school guard saw something strange in his behavior. The guard tried to stop him and ask questions. Costa pulled out the gun and shot him. The guard died right at the entrance. Then Costa went inside the school building. He walked through the hallway toward his classroom. He had already chosen the room and the time. It was history class, and he knew the schedule. Costa stepped into the classroom and started shooting. He shot the history teacher in front of everyone. He fired at his classmates, some at close range. Some of the kids he targeted had bullied him. In only a few minutes, 8 children were dead. They were between 12 and 14 years old. The teacher died. The guard outside had already been killed. Several other students were badly hurt and bleeding. The whole school turned into chaos and fear. Kids ran, hid, screamed, called their parents. The teachers tried to protect students and lock doors, but it had all happened too fast to stop. To understand why, we must go back a few years. In 2019, Costa and his parents moved to Belgrade. His father was a radiologist, his mother a lawyer. They enrolled him in a respected school in the city. Teachers saw Costa as bright, quiet, and serious. He did well on tests and answered questions, but he did not fit in with other kids. They saw him as strange and different. At first, he was teased. People mocked how he acted and spoke. They ignored him, avoided him, and left him alone. No one wanted to sit with him in class. By 2021, the bullying became physical and harsh. He was beaten, hit, and humiliated more than once. Each attack broke his trust a little more. His mind grew darker, more angry, more tired. In 2022, Costa received praise for high grades. He was recognized for his academic success in school. But even that did not win him respect. The bullying did not stop, not even for a moment. At one point, Costa asked a teacher for help. He told the teacher about the bullying he faced. According to him, nothing serious was done afterward. No strong action, no protection, no clear change. After that, He started to threaten his bullies. He warned them that they would pay for this. They laughed and did not take him seriously. They treated his pain as a joke, again. Costa then started to plan something terrible. He drew a map of the school by hand. He wrote down a list of names of students. He gathered items to build crude firebombs. On that May morning, he followed his plan. He killed the guard, entered the hallway, and moved. He stepped into the history class he had chosen. He fired at students and at the teacher. Later, when the shooting stopped, Costa walked outside. He went to the schoolyard and called the police. He told them what he had done and waited. He did not run, and he did not resist. Police went through his belongings and his room. They found his list, his map, and the bombs. They saw that this was not a sudden outburst. It was a planned attack, built over many months. On the list of names, they saw something strange. One name had been crossed out with a line. They asked him why that name was removed. His answer was, "I apologized, and he forgave me." That one act of forgiveness saved that boy's life. One simple human moment changed one outcome. Costa was a victim of bullying, that is clear. He was mocked, beaten, and ignored when he asked for help. But that does not erase what he did that day. Children died, a teacher died, a guard died. Their parents will never recover from that loss. Their friends will carry those images forever. Costa's pain explains some things, but excuses nothing. After the shooting, something else started to happen online. New accounts appeared that praised Costa as a hero. Some young people saw him as a symbol of revenge. They said they understood his rage and his choice. This is the danger when bullying is not taken seriously. The victim one day becomes the attacker, and other victims watch and think, maybe I should too. Bullying is not harmless. Ignoring a child who asks for help is not small. Silence can be just as deadly as the weapon. Now we move to New York in the United States. Here lived a family, a mother named Amy, a father named Rob. They had two sons, Daniel and Michael. Michael was active, loud, and loved sports. Daniel was different from his brother in many ways. He was quiet, kind, and gentle by nature. Daniel liked helping people who were hurting. When a neighbor fought cancer, Daniel often visited him. He sat by his bed and talked with him. He held his hand so he would not feel alone. Even after that neighbor died, Daniel kept visiting. He went to see the widow who was left behind. He listened to her and tried to comfort her. For someone so young, he had a very soft heart. Daniel did not enjoy parties or crowded events. He did not care for team games or school sports. His main interest was hunting, a rare hobby for teens. He felt calm and focused when he was outdoors. This made him stand out from other kids, and for some, being different is enough reason to attack. The bullying started with rude jokes and mean names. Over time, it grew worse and more cruel. By the time Daniel was in high school, it was severe. On the school bus, kids tormented him almost daily. They insulted him, threatened him, and laughed at him. They did things to him that were deeply humiliating. Some of those acts are too harsh to describe here. But imagine being trapped in a moving bus, helpless. Everyone watching, some cheering, some laughing, none stopping it. Imagine how small he felt each time it happened. Daniel reached out for help more than once. He told people at school about what he faced. He said what happened on the bus and in the halls. He made it clear he was not safe or okay. But in his mind, nothing changed in a real way. He felt like no one truly stepped in for him. That sense of being abandoned grew inside his heart. It told him, "You are alone in this. One day, a classmate sent him a message. The message told him to take a gun and kill himself. Daniel replied that he was going home to do it. He said soon no one would have to worry about him. The answer he got back was cold and short. The classmate told him, "Yeah, do it." On the bus, Daniel told people his plan. He said what he intended to do after he got home. Even the bus driver heard a warning from him. When the driver said, "See you tomorrow," Daniel replied, "You won't." He was not hiding his despair anymore. He was stating it right in front of everyone. That evening, his family went to watch Michael's game. Daniel stayed at home by himself. One friend stayed on the phone, begging him not to do it. The friend tried to reach his parents and get help, but no one reached the house in time to stop him. When Amy came home, she walked to Daniel's room. She found a scene no parent should ever see. Daniel had ended his own life. The ambulance came, but there was nothing left to save. Their kind, gentle son was gone forever. In the days after his death, messages poured in. People wrote about how much they loved Daniel. They said he had helped them and listened to them. They called him kind, sweet, and special. But Daniel never felt that love when he needed it most. The cruelty of his bullies spoke louder in his mind. Their words drowned out the love of those who cared. His mother later said Daniel was their dream child. She said their family would never fully heal. A piece of them died with him that day. This is what bullying can do when the pain turns inward. Not every victim becomes violent toward others. Some become violent toward themselves instead. They decide that ending their life is the only escape. Now we go to Canada, to British Columbia. Here lived an Indian family, parents named Suman and Manjit. They had 3 children, and Reena was their oldest daughter. Her parents were strict and careful with her. They feared racism, hate, and danger outside the home, so they made many rules, trying to keep her safe. Reena wanted friends more than anything else. She wanted to feel like she belonged somewhere, but because of her skin color and culture, she was mocked. Kids made fun of how she looked and where she came from. For years, she had almost no real friends. She often felt lonely and cut off from her peers. She watched other kids form groups and inside jokes. She wanted to be a part of that so badly. In middle school, Reena finally found a group. They were not good kids, but they accepted her at first. They partied, smoked, and broke rules without fear. Reena joined them, hoping the bond was real, but they did not treat her as equal at all. They joked about her, pushed her, and used her. They included her, yet still kept her on the outside. Reena was too desperate for friends to see this. Under pressure from this crowd, she did something serious. She falsely accused her parents of abuse. Authorities believed her and removed her from the home. She was sent to live in a shelter far away. In that shelter, she had time to think alone. She realized that what she had said was not true. Her parents were strict, but they were not abusive. She understood she had made a terrible mistake. After an investigation, her parents were cleared. Reena was allowed to return to her family. Her parents tried to change and grow closer to her. For a while, things seemed a bit better at home. Then came a night in November 1997. Reena was invited to a late gathering near a river. It was at a place under a bridge by the water. Her mother felt a deep worry and tried to stop her. Reena insisted she would be fine and wanted to go. She promised to be home by 11 that night. She called her mother later and repeated the promise. That was the last time her mother heard her voice. At the gathering, things turned dark very fast. A group of teens surrounded Reena near the riverbank. Some were the same friends she had tried to fit in with. They started yelling at her, then they attacked her. They punched and kicked her over and over. They They burned her with a cigarette on her skin. They mocked her as they beat her down. They only stopped when one person said she might die. Hurting and weak, Rena tried to walk away. She wanted to go home and escape this nightmare, but two of them followed her into the dark. They accused her of stealing something from them. Then they attacked her again with even more rage. One hard blow to the head knocked her unconscious. They dragged her limp body closer to the river. There they held her under the cold water. They pushed her down until she stopped moving. Then they left her body in the water and walked away. Days later, police found her remains near the river. The autopsy showed her head injuries were severe. Even without the drowning, those blows could have killed her. Some of the attackers were arrested and faced trial. Some received light sentences and got out quickly. One attacker later received life in prison. But no sentence can bring Rena back to her parents. Her mother said the pain did not fade with time. She said years later it hurt even more. Her daughter's death became a symbol of bullying, but for her family it was not a symbol. It was their child, gone forever. One truth behind all three. 3 stories, 3 places: Serbia, New York, Canada. 3 young people who could have lived full lives. All 3 hurt by bullying in different ways. One turned his pain outward and picked up a gun. One turned his pain inward and ended his own life. One trusted the wrong people and never came home. Bullying does not always lead to headlines, but it always leaves scars on someone's mind and heart. It changes how they see themselves and other people. It can twist pain into hate or into self-destruction. If a child comes to you and says, "I am being bullied," listen. Do not say, "It's just a joke, ignore it." Do not say, "You must be stronger, deal with it." Do not say, "Kids will be kids, it will pass." Take it seriously. Ask questions. Step in. Call someone who can help if you cannot. If you are being bullied right now and feel trapped, hear this. Your life has value, even if you cannot feel it now. You are not the words that cruel people throw at you. You are not as small as they want you to believe. Reach out to someone you trust, even if it is hard. A parent, teacher, counselor, or hotline can be a start. Keep trying until someone listens. Your pain matters, and you deserve help. If you have bullied someone, even as a joke, stop now. Think of Costa's crossed-out name and that act of forgiveness. Think of Daniel, who never heard kind words when they mattered most. Think of Rena, who died at the hands of those she wanted to impress. You have the power to change how you treat others today. You can say, "I am sorry," and mean it. You can stand beside the bullied, not with the bullies. If these stories touched you, share your thoughts in the comments. You might help someone who feels alone right now. If this video helped you in any way, please share it. And if you want more real stories like these, like and subscribe. Next time, the stories will go even deeper into hidden pain. For now, thank you for staying with me until the end. This was Fadi. Stay safe, stay kind. Do not stay silent. Peace.